in town historically, so I was a little bit concerned about that change. But so far, it's been fine. I knock on wood that continues. And Judy over at the Richland Library has started a craft program for adults. They're meeting every other Thursday. They've had one session so far, and then they'll meet again this afternoon. And I think they had about 5 attendees. So that's pretty good for an adult program at the library.
What time she has that?
It is at
It's all right, you don't have to.
1 or 1:30 this afternoon.
That's good.
Liz's story time and STEAM programs are going really well. They've actually been doing a little story time on the go. Last week they went to the fire station, and this week I think they're going to the park. So that's a lot of fun. Here at the Waynesville Library, Melody has started an adult craft program meeting every other Monday. And again, there are several really dedicated attendees there. And their big thing coming up is the fall book sale. They'll start setting that up tomorrow, and that will run starting Monday through the end of October on the fall book sale. Most of the regular programs will be canceled during the book sale, but story time will meet at the senior center. So I think that's kind of a fun thing that they're going to do while this location is not available. Buildings and maintenance side, Mark is going to be working to strip and wax the community room floors at all 3 locations. He'll start in Crocker next week. 2 weeks after that, he'll do Richland. 2 weeks after that, he'll do Waynesville. So that'll be about a 2-day project at each location. And he's also planning to power wash all the buildings. So we're keeping Mark busy. And then one of the air conditioning units at Crocker needs to be checked out. It's having a little bit of trouble keeping up. So keep you posted on that. IT updates. Carl at PC Tech is working on quotes to upgrade all of our staff computers with Windows 10 no longer being supported. So he's working on getting that all set up and scheduled. On our usage statistics in September, we had 4,836 patrons among our 3 branches. And September is National Library Card Sign Up Month, and we had 85 new library cards last month. So that's exciting. The other thing I wanted to point out at the bottom right-hand corner of that page 19 under cataloging, we have a withdrawn number that's 3,584. So that's a lot of items withdrawn from the catalog. We're working on a cleanup project in the database. So the next few months, you'll probably see large numbers on that withdrawn item. Those are just books that exist in the system. The system thinks we have them, but we don't physically have those books. So, and the system might say, well, it's unavailable. Anything that's got an unavailable status, we're just taking out of the system if it's been in that status for a long period of time, if that makes sense. Behind the scenes catalog cleanup, making everything run a little bit more smoothly. So ongoing project, but those are kind of a big number of things being removed from the system. On page 20, we've got our electronic use counts. We did circulate 1,292 ebooks and e-magazines last month, and that's about on par with what we've been doing, and then 1,000 e-audio, so those downloadable audio books. Again, on par with what we typically do there. And then other highlights on page 21 are our library programs that we host here at the library. I wanted to point out on here, story time towards the bottom. Richland Storytime has had 40 attendees in September. And for a small library to have 40 people come out for Storytime, I think is pretty awesome. And then here at the Waynesville Library, a little bit up from that, we've got the Homeschool Club. That Rebecca started that, I think, the beginning of this year. And that is what meets right before this meeting, but they meet every Thursday. And she had 38 attendees, 21 kiddos in September on that. So I think that's a lot of fun. And got a real good dedicated group coming out to that. Page 22 is outreach. Again, I wanted to point out on that, Rebecca, again, here at Waynesville, started an outreach program to the senior center. The senior center here in Waynesville, St. Robert, and goes out there once a month, takes a cart of books and some library cards and library card applications, and just meets those people where they are at the senior center. And then we've also got our community use of outside groups who use the room. And that is all I've got on the director's report and usage statistics, but I'm happy to answer any questions or clarifications you might have.
Anybody have any questions on the director's report and the usage statistics? If not, then I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the director's report and the usage statistics. I can make that motion, right? Okay. Is there a second? Okay. Is there any discussion? If not, then all in favor, make it known by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No? Okay, and there are none. All right. Unfinished business? Is that still none?
Still none.
Okay. And I believe that takes us to, let's see, you want to do closed session now or new business 2026 budget? Which do you want to do?
We can do the draft of the budget now.
Well, it doesn't make
And
any
then,
difference. I
yeah.
just, okay.
Yeah, we can have that flexibility, I think. Okay, all right. That works. And again, this is just our first draft of the budget. We're still getting in numbers as far as health insurance renewals, building insurance renewals, and all of those sorts of things. But it just gives us a good glimpse at where we are so far this year and how we expect that to translate to next year. The estimate of tax revenue for next year is 806,457, which is about a 3% increase, 2.9% increase over this year. And let's see, I don't think there is anything to the office actual column, and then 2025, and then office estimate columns are the farthest on the right hand side. So that's kind of where we are drawing from. Really just keeping most things on par with where we are this year with expected increases. Health insurance, we're expecting about a 10 to 14% increase. So I've put in about a 12% just to hit that in the middle, hopefully.
That's correct.
And our broker is getting quotes from various companies again this year. So hard to know for sure what that will look like. But that's kind of the expectation there. Materials, books, and everything, we're expecting to spend about the same next year as we are this year in that $75,000 range. Office expenses, just all of those various office supplies have been a little bit more expensive this year, like everything than last year. So last year we budgeted $15,000. Next year I'm expecting about $18,000 on that. Again, you've had a bit of time to look over the budget from when I sent it out, and we'll have more finalized numbers on those health insurance, building insurance, and all of those sorts of things next month. You all will pass the final budget. And so I don't really just any kind of discussion or input that you have for this month's pass of the budget, and then you'll pass the final version next month. But happy to answer any questions you might have.
Who's the broker for the health insurance? I don't remember.
First Community, it's in Lebanon.
First Community?
Yes.
Is that First Community Bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a longer name, and I'm drawing a
yeah, I
blank.
don't need it. That's okay. I think it's
First State Community
I think it's going to go up.
I think.
A lot.
Yes. Yeah. She estimated 10 to 14%, but she had everybody fill out new questionnaires so that she can.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions on the proposed budget for 2026? Do we need to make a motion on this?
No motion, just any discussion or input or
all right,
anything like that you might have.
No more questions on this? Okay. So then next, we will retire to closed session.
Okay.